Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to another very special episode of The Mockeries, Anathema War. Say hello, The Mockeries, and special guests.
Hello, The Mockeries, and special guests.
Special guest.
Aha! Guys, we are picking up with our third battle, the Siege of Sesson Seal. We are missing Antonio from our previous two, Mother's Day, all that good stuff. He sends lots of love wishes he could be here. We will, of course, look after Rhydon accordingly.
Kill him.
Kill him now!
Kill him. I'm making a play for Garandia. No, I'm not.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I would also hate that. No, last time we left off, you guys, with the first session, did incredibly well. Rhydon had done a huge amount of damage to Matshesha. Using the Moonlight Scythe, Zhen had been reduced back to a human, no lycanthropy, no connection to Malar, and was let go in a very heartwarming show of mercy. Last time, however, things started to take a turn for the worse in the fight against Matshesha. It became very clear that you were dealing with something you had not dealt with before. Using her legendary reactions to turn away some of your most powerful plays, Matshesha continually healed herself over the course of the fight and exhibited ability to not only deal tremendous amounts of damage, command her golems to throw Sibriek's Ichor at you, but also her attacks drained and corroded the magic in your bodies. Moreover, she was able to use the Meteor Swarm spell to blast through the defenses in the city, deal extra damage, bring Rhydon down again, and the siege for the city itself, has begun to seriously turn against the Mockeries, against the people of Garandia, and towards the Yuan-Ti. While you guys are putting up a great fight and doing all kinds of very cool things like summoning angels from hell to aid in the fight, nevertheless, things are currently going against you. Matshesha continues to heal. She is curled around Awen. Awen is at death's door. Most of you guys are not looking good, looking low on spell slots, low on health. And so this is the time to make some badass plays. But we are not going to return immediately to the battlefield. Instead, Daisy, I'm throwing you a curveball. We're going to do a Thesia flashback. Because we've done Theramin and we've done Cloud, it is time to do a Thesia flashback. Thesia, you are a child growing up in Yuan-Ti culture around this temple in the jungles of Dridia. And this is a very matriarchal society. Priestesses are the abominations and have the most power in this in society. But you guys are hunters, and you go and you you are a child at this point, but as a culture, you are hunters. You find people. They're ritually sacrificed, and everybody is involved in that. Everybody's indoctrinated into this way of life. There is, however, in this place where you grew up, there is a male priest of ostensibly of Malar. He is a pit master. But you've never seen him actually perform rituals. What you do see is that he trains a young pureblood boy who's around your age. His name is Tishesu, and the young boy's name is Achakis. And they work privately together, these two. and the word around, the story is not clear for you as a child. Nobody has told you what the story is with this guy, but he is left mostly alone, and this young pureblood is sort of in his care. And they sort of have their own space that they go to, like a clearing in the jungle that they go to outside of the main temple complex. How curious a child is Thesia? What is Thesia like as a child?
Good question. I think she would definitely be curious of why, but as a pureblood, she kind of takes orders well. She looks up to the priestesses because they're in charge, and purebloods are naturally quite submissive in a sense, where it's like, oh, we'll follow you, and she thinks that they know best for her, and she's kind of preparing herself to do well, but she would be quite curious into why they get a special area and why she doesn't, because I think from a young age she, like, to quote Pokemon, wants to be the very best.
Like no one ever was.
Exactly. We've got to catch them all. So she strives to do well, and it's the pressure she puts on herself continuously afterwards is to do well. So yeah, she's a curious little thing that slithers around.
Beautiful. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this, like, do you think that Thesia would, like, investigate this kind of thing? While you sort of, like, you listen in on some of these lessons, and it seems to be that this guy is treating Achakis very differently than most purebloods are treated in this society. There's almost sentimentality to it, which is not something you really experience a huge amount of at this point. And if it's mentioned at all, is sort of like, oh, the disgusting elves and humans have these sort of, like, emotional defects that make them weak. These lessons seem to be aimed at teaching Achakis, genuinely teaching him, not based on caste system or anything like that. And there is a religious aspect to it, but there is also just a survival, survive in this world, live a life worthy of our people kind of deal to it, and a message in there that this young man, this young boy, could decide for himself how best to serve the people. Which, again, is not something you're used to. The people higher up, the Malicens, decide how the purebloods work, and the abominations above them, the pitmasters in between those. I think one day, if you're investigating, Achakis is not immediately there, and you look around, and Teshesu finds you and knows that you are here. So, you have been spying. And you've been spying very well for one so young. Which one are you? What's your name?
I think this is like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. But it's Thesia.
Thesia. Come. I will teach you something. And he brings you in. You can see him just perform a little magic. He looks at you. Yes. You're strong. You're stronger than the rest will give you credit for. You're not in trouble. Worry yourself not. So, Thesia. Do do well by our people?
Yes.
And is there anything you wish for yourself in this world?
I'm going to say she was saying no because,
Mhm.
you know, her thoughts aren't essentially her own. Like, this is what you do, da-da-da, da-da-da. It's like almost militant that you don't have your own thought process properly.
Absolutely, yeah. You all nod. I understand. Unlike the others, Thesia, I believe that you will have more to offer than the abominations think you will. Based on your bloodlines, I think that you could be a very excellent hunter indeed. So, when you go out into the world, remember this: you must survive. Above all else, that is what our people need and is what's lacking in our teachings. You must learn to kill. You must learn to hunt. You must learn to deceive if you weave nightmares. But more than anything else, you must survive. Part of that means making connections with other people, even if you're only pretending to on your end. It's very important that you connect. Have others who are willing to stick with you in those situations where otherwise you would not live. But more than that, it gets a little bit closer. More than that. Let them die if it means you can live, Thesia. The enemy won't care. And if it's a situation where everyone's going to die, and you included, and there's a chance that by sacrificing the others, you will live, do it. You have value. And the other thing is, there's this thing called chivalry that some people are going to try to like force on you. In like, some people will be like, fight honorably. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's like, they want to put restrictions on your abilities to match their arena. It's a tactic, and and never listen to that. If they say, I want to fight honorably, like, yes, go and hide and then poison their food. Like, ultimately, the thing that matters is who lives and who dies. And if you're living and they're dead, you've won. So don't get tricked into fighting on other people's terms. Live. Now get out of here. The remembrance fades. What did that incident, how did that sit with Thesia?
I think as a child that it sat quite well. It's like, okay, right, I'm going to be as independent as possible and F everybody else, basically. But I think now, when she went out into the world and had to make those connections, like as a bard, even like when she started, she had to connect with someone, like to listen to her music, to come to her, and she was using that as a like lure you in and eat you tactic. But now with her friends, it's not a fake connection anymore. It's she knows she has to survive, like it's instinctive. But I think that she would do almost anything to help other people. Or she's like had that deprived from her for so long. It's just like a sudden, you know, like, oh my god, this is actually what life is. This is living. This is living. Like, how she did before was just so mechanical.
Yeah.
And she's like, nope, I'm alive now.
And with that sentiment, you are alive now.
Now is the key word.
Now is the key word.
Might not be in 5 minutes.
You are actively turned against this society that you were born into, this structure, this caste system, which for the most part, besides this one outlying strange incident, dictated to you what your life was and what your role would be and what your value was as a person. We return to the battlefield. The last to go was Matshesha, which means the next thing that happens is Orlando Coin and this Flesh Golem take their turns. So what we're gonna do is this Orlando Coin Golem is going to move 5 feet. This thing should still be there. And it is going to do first like this big sweeping arcing strike around him, which let's just see if it hits the pseudo dragon. It's gonna hit the pseudo dragon. I can't remember which one is near Orlando Coin. Might be Quincy.
I think you're right. Yeah, Quincy.
I think Quincy is gone. This big, like one of this, like many arms, just like coming at a weird angle out of its back, just like sweeping strikes it out of the air. Swings around to hit Peter Engelhart. Peter Engelhart is going to use his reaction to do that imperviousness to damage thing that you've seen from the Legazis in the past. So he was going to take no damage from that. Orlando gets frustrated and is going to swing one more time at Monsieur Peter, and is going to bring Peter back down again. So you see, it's been crushed into the dirt once. He came back up, eyes blazing, back to the dirt.
Where he belongs.
This Flesh Golem is going to do something similar. It's going to take one swing, get rid of the last of your familiars there, Theramin. And then is going to move up close to Emilia and take a swing. Actually misses Emilia. It's quite hard for these things to miss, but he manages it in this moment. After them is the Legazis. We're going to do a roll for Peter to see if he gets back up on his own. Would you believe that Peter gets back up again?
Yeah, I would.
It's on a roll. It's not guaranteed that they get back up, the Legazis. But he's fueled.
He's persistent.
He is fueled by some pretty intense anger against this Orlando Coin Golem. He's gonna make his 4 attacks. Actually, I mean, all of these are going to hit. Let's just see if how much it takes to bring the Coin Golem down, and that's a straight line to the other Flesh Golem as well. So he's gonna make that as well. So the first hit does 11 points of damage. Oh, baby. Second attack. Oh, that's 19 points of radiant damage. Orlando Coin Golem goes down. You see, he's within 5 feet of this thing. It's this writhing mass of lycanthro body parts. He has been blasting this thing with radiant energy, and in one last sweeping blow, brings his sword down, light coming off of it, and just shears the thing in half. Orlando Coin is gone again. The Flesh Golem's going to take that 19 points of damage. Last 2 hits. He's just gonna focus up on this last golem here. 16 and then 18. So 34 points of damage in total. That last golem is still up, but is not looking great. That's Peter. Peter's gonna move. Peter's gonna difficult terrain his way across this river. Starting to get to you guys. Amelia is gonna take her turn. She's gonna 1, 2. That's 10 feet. Flesh Golem's got a 10-foot reach, so she can get to here without what's the word I'm looking for? Provoking
Leaving
an
a
attack of
threatened
opportunity.
area?
Yeah, exactly. She's going to bonus action healing word on Rhyodon. So he comes back to consciousness. You can see that Rhyodon is still looking like really rough. It looks like he needs like proper like time with a cleric if he's going to keep fighting, basically. And then Amelia...
Can't keep it all in your head, Josh?
You can't keep everything in my head.
Kind of a DM, are you?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Ignore me. She prepares an action. Rhydon on his turn moves over to Amelia. She grabs him, and she is going to Word of Recall to get him out of there. She Words of Recall, and the 2 of them, they fully vanish from the battlefield. I've done this slightly wrong. The one thing I wanted to do before they left was when Rhydon gets back up on his turn, when he does the movement, he moves, he says a prayer, receives the blessing of Pelor. Everybody is going to receive back up to 3 spell levels worth of spell slots from him. So
up to level 3.
So either 1 level 3 spell slot, a level 2 and a level 1, or 3 level 1s.
Okay.
Theramin, I believe this just gives you back 1 spell slot for you because yours work slightly differently.
I only used Thunderstep, I think. Like the rest was like Eldritch Blast. And...
Beautiful. So you've got full spell slots.
Yeah.
So, sorry, quickly. If I've got 3 level 1 gone, can I get them all back?
You can get 3 level 1 spell slots back from this.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thank you.
I figured he's not going to be helping you in the fight, so I thought it would be worth giving you a little something. Okay, that's all of the other stuff dealt with. We are coming around to Awen's turn in initiative. The question I'm asking, just because we had talked about it, is whether Awen is delaying her turn or whether she's taking her turn.
Yeah, no one did damage to her, so I haven't been able to try and escape yet, is my thing.
Yeah.
So, I kind of have 2 options of what I can do. I can... is it going to take me an action to try and escape?
It is.
Yeah, okay. Then what I'm going to do is delay my turn until someone damages Matshesha.
This is not preparing an action. This is delaying your turn.
Delaying my turn, so I'll get everything when I do it, right? Attack.
You'll get everything when you do it.
Action, movement.
I am just going to ask that you be a little bit more specific as to after whose turn you are going to go. That's all.
Okay. I will go after, I think Cloud's next up.
Yeah.
So I'll go after Cloud.
Okay. You're going after Cloud. Cloud, that makes it your turn in the initiative.
Like I said, I'm gonna do something stupid. So, the first thing to talk to Slither, is it a free action?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say to him, I need you, please. We're possibly doing something stupid. That is the only thing I can think of doing. Can you help me?
I was wondering when you were going to make use of me. Because I helped with Jen, and then we were fighting Matshesha, and I was just hanging out.
we're gonna go after the snake. I'm gonna use my normal movement to get 5 within 10 feet of her.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus action the dragon.
Cool.
I want to. So I've got a fly speed of 20 feet. As I'm flying up 20 feet, I want to try and cut her head off. One of them.
You want to try to cut one of her heads off? Cool. How do I work this? If you're aiming to cut one of her heads off, she's going to have a much higher AC.
I gathered, yeah. That's why I asked about, do I get anything for using them?
You get sneak attack. So what I will say is you're going to get sneak attack regardless. The AC will be much will be much higher, but there may be potential other benefits for cutting one of her heads off for sure.
So using them, I get my dex and proficiency.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Oh, I really hope this works.
So her armor class is 22 normally.
Mm-hmm.
Feels only fair that her armor class for this is 28.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make your roll.
That's a natural 20.
No! No! I
my
could see.
God.
I
So
knew
that
we
makes
were
it
gonna.
30 with proficiency and dex. Every time I need it.
And you crit on a sneak attack, which is just always so great when it happens.
Yeah. You
I
crit
don't
on a
have my
sneak
book
attack.
as a rogue. I don't know what my sneak attack is. Level 4.
Yeah,
Level 4? It's plus
2.
2, I think.
It's 2 additional damage dice.
And an extra D4 for using Slither.
Yeah, so the base damage of Slither is a D4. Brutal, really cool. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna max out your damage and then take your damage dice and roll them again.
Okay, right. What die do I need as sneak attack? Sorry, I don't have my...
D6.
So is it...
Yeah.
D6.
Yeah. 1d4 and 2d6 is what you're rolling.
D4.
Of course.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
No, don't be sorry. It's awesome. It's awesome that this happens every single
This
time.
flying cat goes like, nope. Okay, so that is 13 with dice.
13 on the dice.
Mhm.
So that's 13 plus 16 damage.
Oh no, +1 because he's a +1 weapon. They are a +1 weapon.
Yeah,
That comes after.
yeah, and then it will be what's your dex modifier, if I may ask?
+3.
+3, so it would be +4. So this is 29 plus 4 is 33 points of damage with Slither.
And does she take an extra D4 at the beginning or at the end of her turn?
Bleed counters happen at the beginning of her turn.
Okay. I'll just make a note so I remember.
The way that this works is that you have crit, and the way that the scythe works is that for every damage die dealt, she gets a bleed counter. So this is going to be 6 bleed counters on her instantly as you sever one of her 6 heads. I mean,
Does that give Awen an opportunity to get out?
it absolutely does. Awen, would you like to make an acrobatics or athletics check?
Why, yes,
I'm
I
giving
would.
you Will. One of my
Don't-
last ones.
Don't worry
Don't need
about it.
Dragon?
I see you
I'm
going to
not
help
giving
me
it to
out,
you.
and I'm like, no, it's all good because I literally cannot fail this check. It's just a matter of how cool I get out of it, because the worst I can roll is 22.
Okay. Can I say, as she does this, she's still flying up. So she's like, whoop.
Imagine like anime style, like with the scythe, like just like this line going straight up into the air.
Carries on.
At some point, are you? If you're done your turn, I will take mine. But if you have anything left, go. Okay.
No. I'm gonna say the dragon, so I stay in the air and away from her.
Nice.
At any point in this, was Cloud within 5 feet of Matshesha?
I would have been, yeah.
You would have been to get, yes.
So as you finish off your turn and I take mine, as you're flying out of range, I'm gonna, I have escaped, and I'm gonna hit Matshesha, is what I'm gonna do.
This is rolled, this check to get out, I believe, against, no, that's right, the DC was 20, you absolutely can't fail.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, so it's 22.
Beautiful. Forgive me.
Reliable talent.
What I will say, yes, you can time this to be when Cloud is within 5 feet of Matshesha, absolutely. And then Cloud, if you are flying away from her, she'll get an attack of opportunity on you. But we'll deal with that as and when.
I've still got resistant. It's halved. If it's slashing, bludgeoning, or piercing.
That is resistance, yes. Cool beans. Awen, go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. I just have to hope I hit. But if I hit, it'll be good. Pretty please.
Mockeries, luck be with you.
It is not with me. It's not with me. That's a 17. It will not hit.
17.
But thank you.
Do it.
But it does not do it. She's frustrated by that. So what she's gonna do is it's gonna be like, damn it. And she's going to how do I want to do this? Bonus action disengage. No, she's not. I'm gonna Misty Step. And I'm going to scream out to the general. I'm going to scream, I need your permission to let in backup from Thorogrove.
Okay. That declaration is made. Matshesha's going to get her attack of opportunity on Cloud if you're flying out of her reach.
Yeah, I am.
She rolled a 19 on the die, so that's going to hit.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 21 halved to 10 points of slashing damage to Cloud.
Got you. Thank you.
Also, Josh, I still had my movement left, so I'm going to go behind these trees if the trees exist still.
Those... yeah, that one that you're behind exists.
Okay.
The other one...
have cover.
You've got cover. The other one is, like, half of it is gone and the rest is on fire. So, not great. That beautiful. Beautiful. I will let you in on a little thing. If you had begun your turn in the grapple, you would have taken acid damage.
Yeah, I figured as much, which is why I wanted to get out as soon as possible.
Absolutely. We move on, actually. We're gonna do Thesia's turn, but we're going to address some stuff that's going on behind the walls first. Because there is some ongoing stuff going on back there. If you move your attention down, we are going to introduce an NPC at this time. There is this absolute, you guys can't necessarily see this, but for everybody here, Alberta's the only one who knows this character. There is a beautiful silver-haired elf woman who picks herself up out of the wreckage after having been blasted aside by a meteor, is sort of like on the roof of one of these buildings. She draws her sword, enters into, or is already in this trance, so sort of has her sword. What she is going to do is she's going to take her full 40 feet of movement that she gets from being in Blade Singer Dance trance. She rushes over to Eremias, grabs him, uses her action. She is going to dimension door over behind the lines over here where the people are still holding out. She's going to bonus action toss a healing potion over to Richard Engelhart. Richard Englehart's going to use his action to bring up Father Charles and then make his way over to this trebuchet. Father Charles is going to move back behind lines. He's going to send out mass cure wounds. A lot of these guys get health points back. Things are going badly, but the retreat at least is working quite well in this moment. The general is fighting and casting runes at the same time, casts a couple of runes, fixes the trebuchet and the ballista that she previously broke. The general hears a cry, is fighting this guy with like one hand like on this like sort of it's one of those like one-handed war hammers that's got one very heavy flat end and one like pick end on the other side. She's just like brutally smashing into this UNT. Pitmaster fixes the ballista and the trebuchet, calls out something to Richard. What we are gonna do, this is very fun. Richard moves the trebuchet. The general jumps off of this UNT here, leaps onto the boulder. Okay. As she flies, she makes a hand signal. Her armor goes transparent and weightless. She jumps onto the boulder. The trebuchet fires. The general comes soaring across the battlefield and lands on this roof and crashes through into this house.
Nice.
She
about throwing and launching people.
And right before she lands, her armor comes back to help absorb some of the damage of the fall. It still looks like it hurt her to do that, but she's here. And as she's flying through the air, right before she lands, she calls out to Awen, "Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!"
Can I do it now, or should I wait till my turn?
You may absolutely make the call now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out a stone as I'm sort of crouched behind the tree, and I'm going to say, "The prince is down. The general's given her permission. Cess Seal is falling. Matshesha's declared herself anathema. Send aid. Quick."
After the sending stone, you hear Lindara's voice. There in a heartbeat. You guys see Peter Engelhart. Second wins. His eyes fade back to normal. His helmet takes off his helmet, and he calls over. Is like, "You're not the only one who's called for backup." And he's got a sending stone of his own in his hand. You guys see portals begin to open up in the area around you. You see this green swirling portals from the Wood Elves of Thorogrove that Awen is calling back in. You see ravens start to circle overhead and sort of a more undead, necrotic, hellish portal begins to open up, as well as Peter calls in extra Legazi household members. Yeah, you guys see, just lots and lots. Arcane portals start to open up that seem to be much more in line with what sort of like human wizards would have. There are people coming to your aid.
Well, it's like the Avengers. Doctor Strange.
That's what I'm like, Doctor Strange with the
Doctor Strange moment.
The portals.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
On your left.
Absolutely.
Do I happen to see Lindara and or Valhalla?
Matshesha screams in pain, sees these portals opening up, and starts to cackle through her heads that are remaining. This horrible, blood-curdling cry of pain turns into this hissing. This is left. As her head look at each of you guys, she raises a hand aloft. The world wants to nip this in the bud, but by the time I'm done here, none of them will be strong enough. We just need that little bit of time. Lindara, the Legazis, none of them are welcome in my domain. Last legendary reaction. You see there's a wave of energy that comes out from her, which pushes away and disintegrates these portals that are opening up for aid to come to you. This almost dome of magic encircles and goes further and further out for miles in every direction. This is a domain spell, which is reminiscent of various effects which can be found in spells such as Forbiddance, Hallow, and Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum. It prevents people from teleporting in or out, as well as some various other things like people on the other side of the barrier cannot see or hear what's going on within the barrier. That is the last of her legendary reactions. She looks at all of you and laughs and says, the thing is, Mockeries, Godslayer, I have really been put through my paces here. I'll admit that. She's got this one lifeless neck. You see that head starts to grow back as she talks. She says, but it doesn't matter. You're all strong, but I'm beyond mortal strength now. And I'm only getting stronger. You're all going to die, and then all of the other ones can come at me at the same time if they want to. Your gods, your kings, all of them. I will be what Shadsul never managed to be. I will be the undoing of this world, and our people, Thesia, through your death, will become the dominant race on Cygalia. Thesia, that's your turn.
Oh. I'm gonna do the thing. She looks at Matshesha and kind of laughs a little bit. Like, no mortal power, you say? She takes a deep breath in. She relaxes. Asmodeus, I need a favor.
You call out to Asmodeus for a favor. Callum, Lily, Alberta, would you be so kind as to take off your headphones for a minute? And I will signal for you to bring them back, to come back. Thesia, you find yourself in the hall with Asmodeus. You know that your body is still there. This is taking a distending time so that you have extra time to speak. Yeah. Thesia, my champion, you're here. We are making final preparations for our invasion of the Abyss at this point in time. Malar is weakened. Zerial will finally be able to kill him in his own realm, and he will be dead. And then the last is Umberlee. We're moving our armies as we speak. Mm-hmm. What can I do for you?
I remember in our first meeting, you said I had the power to kill Matshesha back then. I understand this would probably mean renegotiating our contract, and I'm aware that you may ask something difficult from me in return for what I'm about to ask you.
Sure.
I need to be able to tap into that, not to kill me, because my body's already breaking with the power I already have that I can't use. I need to channel it. I need to kill her now.
Here's the thing, right? We've talked about this before. The amount of power that I can exhibit in the mortal realm is limited by the amount of connection that we have, and it's limited by the fact that I can't physically be there. There's a beautiful cat over there. It's very sweet.
Yeah. It just brings up a cat in front of us, Majesty. Please.
Please, cat. Matshesha is doing something which I've seen before, and I'm very invested in her dying. The Anathema, the first Anathema, was a woman named Shaltsul, and she was a nasty piece of work, and we all wanted her gone. I'm able to tell you how she is regenerating. She has a connection, magically connected to the rest of the Yuan-Ti. The rest of the Yuan-Ti are killing. As long as the rest of the Yuan-Ti continue to kill and to be victorious in Sessenseal, she's going to be unkillable. Thesia, what I propose is actually very easy and very simple and has minimal cost to you at all. What I propose is that I give you enough power to wipe out all weak souls in Sessenseal. So just kill the human army. Just fully kill all of the humans who are below a certain power level in Sessenseal, and just cut her off from her fuel for her regeneration. Strong people like your friends will still live. People like the general will still live. Just the foot soldiers, dead to a T. And really simple.
Would that power work to kill all the Yuan-Ti? So she has no one working for her?
No, unfortunately, it would just kill the pure blood Yuan-Ti.
I don't want to kill the humans. It's a lot of dead people.
Listen, if you're worried about your reputation taking a tank, we can word this a particular way, right? The Legazis have a deal with me. I can pretend that the Legazis did this. Nobody ever has to know that it was you. But this stops her regenerating and makes her killable.
I mean, if you could make it, that Caspian did it.
I don't have the same connection with him that I have with you. It would have to be you who does it, and then we just say that it was Caspian.
Yeah, we'll rewrite that bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to help my friends as well. I know that this power will help them, but they're dying. I need them to regain everything that was lost.
The way that things are at, this is going to be the big push. This is going to be a big amount of power for me. If we do this and we do it right, there's not going to be enough left over to heal people. This is going to be enough to weaken Matshesha to the point where you guys can finish the job. That's what I can put on the table from my end.
And what would you ask from me?
He will say, what I would want from you is a signed guarantee that you would come back and renegotiate your contract with me. Afterwards, after the spell's done.
The weak souls is only the foot soldiers. It wouldn't affect the generals. It wouldn't affect the healers we have there.
No, it wouldn't. Not the key players. It would just affect the foot soldiers.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
might, as part of this, you might want to just message like Peter and just say, hold your sword aloft and make it look like you're the one casting this thing. If we're going to play that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell him I'm going to make you look like you just murdered an army. I think
No,
that'll
but-
piss him off.
No, but it's fine. I'll sort things out with Caspian afterwards.
Okay, that's fine. I will. Yes, I think I can agree to those terms.
Excellent. He slides this thing over to you. It's just it's a thing that it says exactly what he says it does. I, Thesia, hereby guarantee that I will return to the realm of Asmodeus and renegotiate and reach an agreement for a new contract with Asmodeus after this battle is done.
Yes, sign the sync.
Done. You return to your body. Everybody, would you like to come back and rejoin?
Hello.
Hello. Thank you all for
Hello.
that. That needed to be private. Cool beans. Thesia, what I will say is that everything we talked about has happened. The thing that needs to be said has been said. So that's going to be your bonus action to do that. If you would like to take an action, you absolutely may do so.
Okay, so the deed's been done.
Oh no, I'm sorry for this particular thing. No, I'm sorry. You that'll use your action. You still have a bonus action and movement. Just because cantrips are not bonus actions. I apologize.
Just quickly, I want to apologize for my cat. She decided she wanted to claw the bed and attack me. So,
Oh,
very sorry.
You're
no.
having such a lovely moment.
Yeah, we thought it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute, but she was attacking my hand before. And I was like, no. Cuddle time. And then she was fine. She wanted
Oh.
attention.
Well,
Cats are sassy.
She is.
cats, man.
Right. I can't use the measuring tool on my phone for some reason, but I've just moved up slightly more towards Theramin and
Oh, hey.
I don't have a bonus action. So I'll just use my movement and end my turn.
You use your movement. Peter Engelhart lifts his sword up. And his sword glows with that same radiance, originating from the tip of his sword. Very quiet wave of energy comes across the battlefield. Every foot soldier and pureblood UNT, basically anything of a CR 2 and below, dies instantly. You guys hear the sounds of battle just stop from the city. There wasn't really a huge amount of wildlife around here, but you guys see any living thing below that CR withers and dies. The grass dies, the flowers, the trees, worms in the earth, birds in the sky. And again, all of the soldiers who were defending Seal and all of the UNT purebloods are dead. They are gone. Anybody who wants to can roll either an insight or an arcana check.
Natural 1 for it doesn't even matter.
12.
Okay.
I rolled an 11 plus 19 or 20. Does it matter which one I do?
It does matter which one you choose. Do you want to get a read on Peter or on the magic that was used?
I want to get a read on Peter right now, and then I'll think about the magic later.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I had Well, I rolled a 12, but then I add 5 for my Arcana.
Brilliant.
Is that
17. So
That's
you
not
want Arcana to be your check?
bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine's a 30 insight.
When you look at Peter and you see profound shock and horror on his face. And Theramin, magically, this power came from the Nine Hells. You absolutely recognize that this power originated in the Nine Hells. This was a very powerful wave of magic.
With my 30 insight, can I tell that he's charmed or dominated, or...
He is not charmed. He is not dominated. He is in control of his own faculties.
Okay.
That's Thesia's turn. Theramin, that's you. I'm going to start taking pieces off the board.
At this point, can I just say that Cloud will probably start making checks to see whether she can do anything?
Start making checks? What kind of checks?
Probably,
Trauma checks?
yeah, trigger checks. Which would
Trigger,
what would
I
they?
see.
Just to hear everything go silent, she probably instantly is not okay.
Yeah, that makes a huge amount of sense. What do you think? Wisdom save?
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a... This is especially traumatizing because this is a direct mirroring of previous
That's what I was thinking. It's just from the sounds of battle to nothing.
Yeah.
Is worrying.
Absolutely.
Even though I didn't roll Arcana, I have quite a bit of experience with magic from the Nine Hells.
Yes, you do.
Would I also have recognized that? It's totally fine if I wouldn't, but I have seen...
You've seen a lot. You have
A
never
lot.
seen this particular magic being used.
Gotcha.
This is... What I will say, Awen, is that you were there when one of the generals of the Nine Hells attacked Emuclass on Bator, which is now Avernus. They didn't use this power. You know that you've seen a lot, and you've never seen this.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No worries at all.
Well, the fates have royally for getting that natural 20. That's another natural 1.
That's another
For
natural
wisdom
1.
save. How's your compass doing?
You rolled. You make it to 3 nat 1s on the Fate Stitcher's compass in this moment.
Of course.
You, I can't remember what we said would happen if you failed one of these, but
I can't take a turn.
I think
I'm like in shock.
I think that's exactly it. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is
So
you are
my
you are
next turn
stunned.
I can't. Which makes sense. For
Which
her.
makes complete sense.
Like the shock of complete silence. No animals, especially as like a druid. No animals. No nothing for her is just complete deja vu. And I think in this moment she's thinking of when her planet fell and she was completely left alone. Like she knows she's surrounded by allies, but in this moment she's alone.
Yeah.
There is no one there.
Yeah. And you hover in the air and get a bird's eye view of nature dying in a wave around Peter.
I think that doesn't help as well, being able to see.
Yeah.
Being so high up, everything just.
And you can see the walls,
which...
and you can see through the holes in the walls. You just see people who are standing and fighting just fall.
Yeah, and knowing that she's helpless is just the worst thing for her. Like throughout Mockeries and everything, she's always wanted to help. She's always wanted to be support. She's always wanted to try and keep her friends and her allies okay, and just to see the same thing happening, I think she'd kind of blame herself. Just complete helplessness.
You guys also see that the threads of light that were going from Matshesha to the Yuan-Ti flicker and fade. Matshesha's head stops growing back in. And a lot of this sort of semi-divine energy that seemed to be growing in her just fades back. Theramin, that's your turn.
So can I do an Eldritch Blast from a different level? Did you say I could cast it from a different level or something? More?
No. Eldritch Blast is just a cantrip. It doesn't get stronger with a higher level casting.
Okay.
But
Right.
you can cast higher level spells even if they take up all of your hit points. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to suicide cast, you absolutely could.
I mean, that's the only other option I would have, really. I would like to do my kind of throwback to my time in the Nine Hells, to when I killed my slug dad.
Mm-hmm.
And oh wait, how long has it been since Clouds go?
How long has it been? A couple of seconds?
Okay, so I fly up and I want to kick Matshesha's head that is like in the air at Matshesha.
I'm going to say that's a free action to do that. Yeah.
Sick. And then I'm going to kind of fly after it and just finger of death in the eyes, if possible.
So cool.
On one of the heads, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Just some eyes.
Absolutely. Let's pull up what needs to happen for the Finger of Death spell.
How much health do I lose for that?
You are going to lose 7 times 7 is 49.
Oh, so I'm not actually dead. All right, okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, she's going to make a Constitution saving throw. She will make it with advantage because she has magic resistance, but her con saves are not that good. She's got to beat your spell save DC. With advantage, she gets a 15, which is a fail.
Oh, yes.
So, if you would be so kind as to roll 7d8.
Yes,
And
I will be so kind.
Add 30, and that's the amount of damage that you deal to Matshesha. 36
Not
plus
bad at all.
30 is going to be 66 points of necrotic damage, halved to 33 because of her resistances. Absolutely brilliant. Matshesha's looking pretty messed up now. She's looking pretty messed up, and she doesn't look like she's going to be recovering anytime soon.
Oh,
Believe it or not, guys, we have not done one full round of combat yet.
No, I know. And I'm out of the next one, so...
You're out of the next one. The next person to go is going to be Matshesha.
Oh.
At the beginning of her turn, Cloud, would you like to do the honor of rolling 6d4?
Of course I would. So I'll just roll 3 and then roll
Yeah.
again. So that is 18.
Holy crap.
Wowie.
Holy crap, guys. She's starting to look pretty messed up. She hisses and spits, and her head's not growing back, and her wounds have stopped closing, and she's starting to bleed. What did you do? What did you do? Everyone's gone. You see her domain spell start to flicker. It's still there, but it's flickering. She looks around at everybody. She sees Cloud and Theramin in the sky. She sees Thesia, Peter. She sees Awen behind a withered and dead tree. My people are dead. The hells are too good for people such as you, who would go to these lengths just to kill me. You're more ruthless than I thought. There is no place, no punishment worth sending you to. When I win here, when I kill the gods, I will send your souls into oblivion. She is out of range of Theramin and Cloud because they are above her. Gee whiz. She's got a heck of a reach, so she's going to 1, 2, 3. She's going to take a swipe. Her first claw attack at Peter. It's going to hit. Peter goes down. Another 5 feet. It's going to take her second swipe at Thesia. It's so much to hit. It's going to be 15 points of slashing damage to Thesia. And you lose 2 spell slots if you've got them to lose.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. She's going to do her constrict thing. She's got a range of 15 feet, brings her in close. Actually, it would be the opposite, brings you in close. Constrict attack.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so much to hit. It's going to be 31 points of bludgeoning damage and an additional 8 points of acid damage. How's Thesia looking?
Oh, she's not looking happy.
Then this is going to be, if you're still up, then she's going to flurry of bites on you.
I mean, she's blinkingly getting unconscious. If she even is moved the wrong way, she will pass out fully.
Flurry of bite is going to be a nat 20 from her.
Yeah, that's fine. I am unconscious and on death's door.
Unconscious on death's door. That is Matshesha's turn. She's just going to use the last of her movement just to move up. But she starts moving towards Awen, almost in this trance of rage. Just taking down Peter, taking down Thesia, moving on. That is the end of her turn. This flesh golem is going to keep moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the flesh golem's turn. Legazi turn. We're gonna roll and see if Peter comes back. Peter, you see the soul leave Peter's throat as his body has just been crushed and slashed to pieces so much now that his soul can no longer repair it. It has that silvery cage around it and the thread leading back toward the capital, and it is whisked off. Peter Engelhart goes down for good. The general is going to take her turn. She doesn't have heals. The general comes crashing out of this building, lays into the golem, few hits, and the golem goes down. That's the general's turn. Holy crap, there are a lot fewer things to worry about on the field now. Yeah. Father Charles goes around trying to heal people. He's going to get to a couple of them in time, but this magic is such that it's going to take all of his healing just to get one person back. He gets one person back, and that's all that he can do. He's out of healing magic. Genta bonus action throws another healing potion to Richard. Goes up and starts fighting with this pitmaster. Richard's going to come over here. He's going to heal Aramias. Aramias comes back up. Marcella's going to make her way over to... She's going to take a dash and do an acrobatics thing. And just trying to make her way up to that ballista. That's what's going on there. These last two pit masters are just kind of standing and looking around. Not quite sure what's going on anymore. They are also stunned. That goes back up to Awen. How's Awen taking this in this moment?
Awen is angry, but she's also settled into kind of that trance of battle when everything's gone wrong and it just needs to be over.
Yeah.
And she's standing behind the remains of a tree. And she thinks of all that that means. She'll come around. She'll peek out the corner. First, she'll see, is there anyone who's within 5 feet of Matshesha?
I think from previous descriptions that no, there is nobody within 5 feet of Matshesha. I think that Theramin and Cloud are above her, higher than 15 feet above her, and Thesia's down.
I am going to attempt to hide now
Okay.
that Matshesha's...
Yes, her perception has taken a little bit of a hit when she lost her. Well, to be fair, actually, she lost one head, and then Theramin Finger of Death her in another one of her heads. So we'll say that head has also sort of like, the eyes have sort of like withered away in that one, and sort of like almost like drawn and mummified. It's still active and there, but it doesn't look like you can see out of it.
33? Am I hidden?
Okay. Perception, and this is lowered, by the way. 32. You are hidden.
I'm hidden?
You're hidden.
I'm hidden. Which gives me advantage
Yes, it does.
on the shot and sneak attack if I hit. Additionally, because of Elven accuracy, I can re-roll one of these. So I have 3 chances, and if that doesn't work, I can use Stroke of Luck. Okay, so 17 plus for the short bow. Yeah, it's gonna be 29 to hit.
29 hits.
I love Arwen.
Okay, so the short bow is a d6 plus my 10d6, so 11d6.
11d6. Ooh, baby.
36 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That is not enough to down her, but it looks like it hurts a lot.
And what I will do with my remaining movement is... Actually, I will do one thing before I do this, because I nearly forgot to do this in all of the, I can hit stuff. I am going to shout to Cloud, and I'm going to say, this isn't Rizal. We're here. We're with you. That war is over. It's been over for a long time. And I'm going to back up 30 feet off the board, just so I'm far away from Matshesha.
Absolutely.
I'm clearly with the rest of them, and if there's anything over there that I can use to take cover with, I will do that.
Cool beans. You have half cover. As you travel off the board, Cloud. Awen says this to you. Awen, who can relate to it far more than anyone else.
I think that resonates with her. Like, even though her home world is gone, and with what the Queen has offered, I think she took to Slither. I think she'd I think it would strike a nerve. just looking around and seeing Theramin and Thesia. Thesia's down, isn't she?
Yeah.
She knows what is happening within the city, and she would just ask. She'd ask Slither, like, please, I asked you before to protect my friends. If there is something, if we can just down her, if we can down this disgusting creature, is there anything you can help me with, or just give me the strength to continue? Because at the moment, I've lost.
I am going to be entirely honest with you. My voice is not terribly good for these particular kinds of intimate moments. I am not great at this, but I will say, I spent several hundred years sort of hanging out on my own, and I only saw people for their avarice and self-interest. This is the first time I've sort of understood what mortality means. That was straight up fucked up, what just happened. And if you've been through this before, that's fucked up too. So yeah, let's end this shit right now. I'm no longer okay, not that I ever was, with any of this continuing. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Oh, I really hope. Oh, I really hope. 1 is a natural 1.
Okay.
1 is a natural 20.
You feel in equal parts the utter despair and trauma of this moment, and feel the presence of your friends and the necessity to keep going. Cloud, you've got your turn back. It is your turn in combat. Bring it home.
Can I hold my turn until Thesia goes? And can we try and finish her together?
Thesia's down, so she'll be making death saves on her turn.
I got those.
I want to try and knock her unconscious. Because I want Thesia to be the person that, like, kills her.
Okay. So you want to deal non-lethal damage?
I don't know. I don't know whether Cloud would have that moral compass at the moment. I don't know whether she would just go for the kill knowing that the city is in ruins.
Yeah.
But she also cares for her friend and wants her to be the one that... Do you know what I mean? It's
yes.
like, if I deal non-lethal damage, then Thesia making death saving throw. Cloud is going to... She's going to move in front of Thesia, staying within the threatened area.
Yeah.
She's going to take the full damage as she changed into the chalice. She's going to use a second level cure wounds on Thesia.
You don't take damage from second level spell.
I'm changing to the chalice though. No, but I'm 20 feet up and I'm dispelling the dragon as a bonus action, and I'm changing to the chalice as a bonus action, so I take 20 foot of full damage.
Oh, I see. You're just dropping out of the sky. Cool. Then you will take.
And that's also.
Holy crap! I just rolled 2d6 for falling damage, and they were both 6s. I'm afraid that's 12 points of bludgeoning damage from falling.
Not a problem. So that is going to be 2d8. This is to Thesia. 16. 26 points of healing to Thesia as I use the chalice's power and cure wounds to get Thesia up. And I just look at her and say, you need to do this. And I give her as well will.
Yeah.
It is a 1 second. D6.
It's
As
me.
I look at Matshesha and fall and say, like, this is your fight. You need to do this.
Thesia, you
Yeah.
are healed. You are currently prone, but close enough to Matshesha that it won't particularly matter. And Cloud says to you, "This is your fight. End it."
I'm gonna attempt what I went to do before she blocked me. I'm going to summon the strength to run at her, sword and dagger in hand, and I'm going to attempt to do my little stack that I have going.
Incredible. Go for it.
So I'm gonna move 20. That is a natural 20 to hit this.
A natural 20? It seems only right.
So I'm going to Psychic Blade, which uses up a Bardic Inspiration, which is 8d6, 2d8 Divine Smite, which is Radiant, and then I'm going to bonus action Thunderous Smite, which is 2d6 of thunder damage. So altogether, the crit is 153 without the bleed count.
That
Oh
hurts.
boy. I don't need to show you a piece of paper to tell you that that is more than enough to end Matshesha's
I think that was at
life.
the same level as
Right
as
on.
Rhydon.
That's Rhydon-esque. Absolutely. Thesia, this is your big moment. Describe killing Matshesha.
I want her to look at me as I kill her, like Matshesha's face.
Yeah,
It's like
I mean,
she's like her back is to me, so I'm like running. I mean, she's still got like the laughing in her tail. I want to step on that as I'm doing it. Rub that in a little bit. I just drive like this little dagger. Just drive it straight through this green. How my Eldritch Blast is, with these whisperings getting louder from the dagger as I enter her mind. It's, you never scared me to start with. You will die alone here in foreign lands.
You stab Matshesha with this dagger, say those words, and you see that those words carry power, and they carry a profound power over her. Those words ring out, "I was never afraid of you." In this moment, a pureblood kills a Yuan-Ti anathema, and the Yuan-Ti society is destroyed forever. Matshesha's body collapses, bleeding and broken. Heads writhe manically for a second as the symbol of Malar burns into her body as this dagger pours divine power into her. And she is no more. You all are victorious. With that, we leave combat. We leave the initiative. You guys see that the clouds leave the sky, that this domain spell fails and is gone. You see portals open up Avengers Endgame style, and people start coming through. You see the Queen of the Wood Elves, Lindara, along with a bunch of other people, Valhalla and Thea, and all of these guys, just an army of wood elves come out of one of these portals. A second portal opens up. Some humans come through that one. A third, sort of like art wizards and more backup army from the capital. You see one portal brings you see the Goliaths that you guys met in the Goliath Mountains have shown up to help you guys in this fight. Og leading them. Yay. You see M the blacksmith has taken up arms. You see Autilg the blacksmith, the Reeve of Asterfeld has arrived. All of these people coming to your aid. You see Thrain, the king of Coldforge, and a bunch of dwarves from Coldforge who showed up at the behest of their people. You see Humphrey Blaine bringing Queen's men and women have arrived. Some people coming through that look like they have a familiar resemblance to Peter and to Marta, all of whom look like they were here to kick Yuan-Ti butt and have not been able to get here up to this point. You see a militia has come from Oddmore, led by Eberk Burrowfound, and the tiefling Mockery is here as well, puppeting very, very basic magic, puppeting one wax figure of Awen that he's brought to this fight to try to help. Everybody arrives.
Dylan in sight?
Dylan, you see Dylan comes through with the Wood Elves riding Ash, going way too fast, doesn't know how to stop.
Thank God they weren't hitting that death wave running off. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they were out of range for that. And you see that these armies rout the remaining Yuan-Ti. The last of the Pitmasters and the Nightmare Speakers are gone. This army is destroyed to a man. To the last of them, they refuse to surrender and fight bitterly and hard. You are surrounded by support and people just instantly, you were instantly healed. All of you are back up instantly to full health as just a wave of healing magic comes at you. Surrounded and gathered up and taken and are safe in this moment just after the battle.
I think Cloud would just fall to the floor, or no, Ash is there. She'd run to Ash and Dylan, I think.
Oh!
She'd try and make sure they're okay.
Hello, we're oh God, oh, we're so, you guys are alive. You're alive. We were afraid we couldn't get to you in time.
Massive bear hug.
Ah!
That's a massive bear hug.
Yeah, Dylan gets a massive bear hug. Ash nuzzles into you, looks ready for a fight, doesn't see anything to fight, nuzzles back into you again.
We're all okay. We're all okay. I made sure everyone's okay. I didn't want anyone. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. And just like inconsolable sobs. She doesn't want to look behind her to like the destroyed city. So she just makes busy cuddling and hugging Ash and making sure Dylan was okay, making sure Theramin's parents were okay. Just anything to distract her from the chaos behind her.
Theramin's parents don't come through the initial wave, but they do come through once the area has been fully cleared out and secured.
Yeah.
People from Cess Seal. The people from Cess Seal, you know what? We're going to hold back on that. Theramin's parents will come through for sure, but the rest of the people are going to hold off on coming back immediately.
I'm going to I'll go and I'll take my cloak off and put it around Cloud's shoulders, just like a shock blanket, and just stand there rubbing her back. I'll put my other cloak on, and I'll begin a short rest in the sense of getting that cloak at the end.
After like Cloud has realised she's got like this extra warmth of a cloak, like apart from Darren and Thesia, she doesn't really trust anyone. So having someone come over and comfort her is a little bit strange, a bit disorientating. I think when she realised it's Awen, she just hugs her and is sobbing and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved us. Thank you. You helped. You did everything you could. I can't." And at that point, she's just like tears and hugging and not sure. And for Theramin and Thesia, this much affection is probably kind of weird. Not exactly normal for Cloud. So
Awen will just hold her, rub her back. You did so good. You You did so good. Love
It's
blood.
like
okay.
her, like erupt from cloud.
She'll just comfort her and help kind of take her down from the adrenaline and panic high.
I think your insight's quite high, isn't it, as Awen?
Yeah.
You can see like this has taken a lot from Cloud. Like she is on death's door for hit points, and mentally this is too much. She can't look behind her. Every time someone's like, "Oh, look at this," she's like, "No." Like it's too much.
She'll kind of just move once she gets a sense of that, she'll just move so your head is like into her shoulder and stuff.
And you'll just see like
I don't know how tall you are though.
I'm like 5'3".
Oh, it's
I'm quite small.
perfect then, because I'm 5'2", so it's not like an awkward like.
No, it's like a gentle like
Yeah.
in your ear, like a constant like purring.
Yeah.
I think Thesia will nudge. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'll look over to where these other two are, kind of over Cloud's shoulder.
Yeah, I think Thesia will just nudge Theramin, looking over at like where the Legazis have come through, like Marta, so you recognise her. And it's like, do you want to tell her Peter's dead? Well, floated off somewhere? Or are we going to leave that for another day? And I just like nudging him, like just looking over and like, oh, don't we always have Marta that?
Yeah, you see Marta's here. You see there are a couple of other people that you don't recognize. Sort of young-looking man and woman have arrived as well, who sort of look related.
Has she got her dagger back? Actually, off topic.
Has who got her dagger back? Marta,
because I gave it to Amelia and threatened. It said to tell Marta if she ever comes for us, I'll gut her with it.
Yeah, no, Marta's got her dagger back. Looks honest to goodness, Marta looks around a little just bewildered, like just the insanity of the aftermath of this particular battle. You know, even this person who you've seen be very bloodthirsty and you've seen like very much get into the heat of battle is looking around, and it's just like this is just a different layer. This is just a different level of bloodshed than she's used to. But once the Legazis see that everything's sort of in hand, they bug out. They're not here for that.
I've clocked the faces of every single one of them, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can tell that they're the Legazis if there's a family resemblance to
100%.
Peter, and I had assumed he was a Legazi because he was there with Amelia.
Yeah.
I'd heard about her.
I'm too out of it. She doesn't even care.
I will ask. I will say. We need to get these folks to a quiet place to rest. Is there? I'll look over to Lindara. I will say, is there anyone who can take me either to, or take them to someone in the city if they're all right with going there, or get them to mine, or near mine?
Yeah, you say like get these people out of here, get them to mine. Lindar just like hold your shoulder. You feel your health replenish, all of your wounds close. The acid burns heal instantly. It's just this very, very powerful druid decides that you are going to be okay. And just says, yes, we'll leave you to it. There's a great deal that we need to talk about after this, but for now, go. And a couple of people open up a portal, and your lonely house is right there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say before I leave the battlefield, may I take Matshesha's fangs out of her head specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to take 2 fangs, or would you like to take 10? Oh, sorry, 12 because of her 6 heads.
Yeah, I'll take all of them.
Yeah, 12 fangs added to your inventory.
Really make a pretty necklace. Awen, before she leaves, can I give her one of the
Well, I'm leaving with you guys if you'll come. I can bring us back here tomorrow.
She's taking you guys out of sight of the city to her own sort of like corner of Thorogrove to talk.
Nap time. Right, got you. Can I then, before I walk through the portal, can I look behind me at the devastation of the city and just sort of, I don't know what kind of check it would be, but like a check to see whether or how long it would take them to get back up and running, so I knew when I could come back to go to Needle, to see kind of how long it would take.
You have a look. This is tricky to say. All people need to
Yeah.
come back and rebuild, and a lot of that can be done magically. The deaths were army members. The Garandian army was the thing that was hit. So the innocents, the nobody who didn't sign up for the battlefield died, essentially. You think that the city itself can be back up and running again pretty quickly, but it'll still be a few days,
Okay.
but it'll be pretty quick. Yeah.
I think before we leave, we might should take a moment to honor the people that have fallen and
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Moment.
Yeah.
Is there a way we could do as we're leaving, do a solemn battle cry or a battle song almost as we're leaving? Just something to be we've recognized this. We're not just leaving. We're recognizing the dead. We're recognizing the sacrifice people made. Just not leaving without noticing that.
You Cloud, in the days after Rizmael fell and your people started to go on the road, your people, Storm amongst them, wrote a lament to the fallen in war, to the fallen. You know this song's probably very appropriate for the situation.
Yeah.
You guys sing, and people don't know the words, but everyone stops and stands and bows their heads in remembrance. And you guys, you see,
Cloud would try to be at the front of this, Cloud would.
Yeah, I definitely think it shouldn't be a performance, but we're just kind of emanating the song.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's it's coming from us together, as
Yeah.
opposed to anyone doing a solo or anything.
Yeah.
Lament solo.
You guys emanate this lament, and you see elves, dwarves, humans stop, and very slowly, though they know not the words, dwarves begin to sing an undertone note to harmonize. The elves begin to weave in elvish phrases of sorrow. And humans hum, make notes in their own way. And there's a real chorus of sadness for the dead here.